Hi guys, welcome. Tonight is the Art and Science for January 2025, first one of the year, for the Shire of ฎ. So we have tonight Sigfrøthr, who's going to be doing a class on making Pells, start to finish. He will have a materials list that will be sent to me later on, and I will get that uploaded and shared with everyone on the ฎ website, the Principality website, and the Kingdom. All these Facebook pages. So I'm going to hand this over to Sigfrøthr. There you go. Take it away.
Hi. We're going to be making a Pell that was designed by Fergus McArt. Tell me I don't have that wrong. McArt. Thank you. It's a 3-piece design. It's a portable Pell. We have the pieces right over here. This is it broken down. You can stick it in the back of your car. It's built a little bit tall because we got some tall fighters in our area, and this is built for someone who's training to fight one of them. But typically you'd want to make this about a 6 foot. Your average fighter is about that height, and you don't need to go any higher than top of his head. We're going to be using a couple tools here. It's a really simple process, 14 pieces, and we should have this done in a couple hours with some banter. First question, the Pell we're making today is for Rowan. How tall do you want this?
6 foot works.
6 foot? Okay.
Is it 6 foot at the top or 6 foot for the strike zone kind of a thing?
It's going to be 6 foot to the top of the post. So we're starting with an 8 foot post. We're going to hack off 2 feet of this, and then that 6 foot mark right about there, that's about the highest you're throwing your shots. Which makes sense. Most fighters, any higher than that, you're skipping off the top of their helm. So for this one, I'm going to do the cutting on this one, and I can have you do the cutting on the 2x4s, because this one,
Whatever's clever.
I don't want it to jerk.
Okay, and we've got a 4x4.
Yeah, we're using just plain hardware store Douglas fir.
Is this pressure treated?
No, you don't want to use pressure treated because it can have a tendency to crumble.
Oh.
You wouldn't want that. No, so it's kiln dried, it's inexpensive stuff, you can find it anywhere. Would you do me a favor and just keep it from falling? It's gonna, when I move it over, it's gonna dip down. All right, I'm gonna mark that little 2 foot cut. Right there. And the loud part. Cool. And that's our drop. That's going to be the post, and we're not going to touch that again, thank you, until a little bit later. If you come back over here, you'll see the way that the post is set up. It's cut so that it's a hexagon. The corners are cut off, and that makes it more of a round surface. When you're striking the Pell, you don't want to have a hard, sharp edge because you'll damage the Pell and you're going to beat up your rattan and go through swords super quick. So this makes it a little rounder. Now I've got a couple other Pells we could take a look at in just a little bit to kind of give you an idea. In fact, we could do that right now. If you don't mind giving us just a little space, Mari. So here are a couple other examples of Pells that one can use. This is a PVC pipe, and it's just 1.25 inch pipe stuck in some kind of stand. This is great for using plastic weapons on, so you don't beat up your rattan and just go through rattan over and over and over. You can use a $30 plastic sword or even a wooden stick that you find in your yard. It doesn't have to be even rattan. And just, you know, gently working on this thing. That's a good portable option. Another idea is you can use a punching bag or one of these cardio bags with a water bladder. And you can use your rattan on this. It lasts longer, and you can go ham on it. You can really hit this thing hard, and it's not going to hurt you a whole lot. It's not going to break your rattan. But they're really not fun to move around because you got to drain the water and then refill it. So you're not taking this to fighter practice. people aren't bringing their plastic swords to fighter practice. So this is a good at-home option. If you want to take something, throw it in the back of your car, and then let your buddies wail on it, show them techniques, work on things. A wooden Pell that breaks down, probably your best option. But you see, with these other two Pells, they're round. That's a great way to use a Pell and not blow up your swords. So that's what we're trying to mimic here. So, let me dig up my cut list. You know, it would have been super cool to print that out ahead of time. But don't you worry. No. I'll pull it up. Did you get the light on full brightness here?
Yeah.
Okay.
All three of them.
Go ahead, put the post away, and set up a 2x4 on the chop saw, and we're going to mark the cuts. And this is in share. No, it's not. Where are my files at? Here they are. And how do I get to the second page? Document tabs, Pell construction. Okay. Almost organized.
Yay, technology.
All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to build the frame, which is these two leg parts that you got over here. We're going to start by cutting the smallest pieces. We've got these small legs here and these vertical legs here. They're almost the same size, so we're going to mark them as we cut them so we don't forget which is which, because that is going to matter. Yeah, we're going to start on this side. Come around, Stephen. I'm going to have you do this. So that side has a bit of a split on it. We're going to try and use as little of that as possible. So starting from the left side, you're going to mark 15 inches and 3/4. Yeah. So let me take that back. Where's your mark at? Great. Speed square. Excuse me. Sorry. No problem. All right, so we got a little mark. It's going to be impossible to see, especially in the low lighting. So we're going to use the speed square to just extend the mark all the way across. It's going to make cutting way easier and sighting the blade. So come on over here. Drag that line all the way across. All right, come around here. I'm going to make the first cut, and I want you to watch the way I make the cut, because you're going to make the rest of them until we get to the diagonals. All right, so you can kind of wiggle the material back and forth a little bit by rocking it and sliding it. Lift your end up a little. Thank you. Down a little. Perfect. What we want to do is we want to look at these little teeth here. They have a piece of material that sticks out. We want that right on the line. We want to cut it the same way every time, so our cuts are the same size. I'm going to give you glasses when you do it. I usually wear glasses. All right, so slap that on there. No, no, they're not hair glasses. So now we can use the material to draw our line real fast. We don't have to keep measuring it.
And how many of that length do we need?
So we need 4 of those. Okay. You got, that's 4 of the verticals. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So when I cut, I come down and I pull the blade forward.
Down and forward.
All right, you start in the middle-ish, and you come forward till you have that cut coming all the way through, and then you can come back in the middle and plunge straight down. Down would be kind of like that, and it'll move the material out of the way as
Sorry,
needed.
technical difficulties.
Yeah,
So-
there we go. This is a good angle so we can catch
Why don't you
everything
come over here?
and then
You
I
wanna
can
hold the
pivot to
stock
the
down.
tools. Thank you.
So when you're using a chop saw like this is a compound sliding miter saw, but whatever. If you're using a chop saw, you want to be bracing the part that you're keeping. All this is called the drop, and well, if it hits the floor, okay, you wanted that piece.
Yeah.
All right, so I had the teeth to the right side of the line. That's where you want to make your cut. Go for it. There you go. Go to the center. Go to the center. Go up a little bit. You don't want to start on the material. You want to start up. There you go, about there. You're going to squeeze the trigger. Come down until it starts cutting. Yeah. Good. Now pull it toward you. All the way good. All right, go back to center. There you go. And down. Good. So you cut that one a little wide. If you take a look at the line,
Yeah.
that's okay. You can always creep back in. They call it sneaking it up to the line. No big deal. So this will actually be a real easy cut at this point because now it's moved all the material off. The blade can't really deflect off this. It's just straight down. When you're cutting bigger stock, you don't want to do that. You want to score the cut first. And that's why we did the thing we did the way we did it. Fair?
Fair.
All right, let me just double check our cut list to make sure this is what we want. Okay, 15 3/4. We need 4 out of this. Cool. There you go.
Yep, go back to center.
Great work. Use that.
Closer to the line that time.
You're gonna use the same piece every time when you're marking your
So you
side.
get the same measurement.
Right. It's just a good habit. This is a Pell. It's not a big deal, but you know, if I'm going to teach you how to cut wood, I'll teach you the right way. Hey, have a pencil.
Getting a whole new skill set. That's awesome.
Nothing like learning it all over again.
I got to break out the handsaw later too. You're laughing. I'm going to put this guy to work. All right. So when you're putting the wood, the material on the saw, you got to make sure it's against both sides of the fence. You are off like that a little bit, and that can cause problems because you see the way the teeth are pulling back, the whole blade is spinning that way. Sometimes if you're off, it'll do that. And, you know, that can cause problems. You can see your line does not match the cut line. That'll help you get in close in the beginning. There we go. All right, and that's it for the 15s. So we want to mark these because these are 15 3/4. We're gonna make 4 more 16-inch, and we don't want to get them confused. So somewhere on here, the end is a good spot. You can mark 15, or you can give it part letters, or I don't know, draw a star or something. All right, now we need 16-inch cuts out of that. There you go. There you go. Have you seen this Pell set up before? All right. Do you mind setting it up so we can get a picture of it all pretty and standing? Danke. So when you do it, you're gonna come down here, score bzzz, like that, and you're only looking to get like 1/8 of an inch deep, and then you go back to center and plunge. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and move your 15s out of here.
Oh, I see. You just wanted the space. You didn't care about it set up.
No. We're actually going to... Oh, you got to set up. Now I need 100 wraps. 100 onside, 100 offside.
I don't have any weapons. So what a shame.
I could probably find
I
one.
know. What a shame there are no weapons.
There's a stick.
What a shame there are no weapons.
Grab a 2x4. So I did the math. I found the most optimal cutlass I could for this to make it a little bit cheaper. And this is the drop we're getting from that whole 2x4.
That's it for the waist. Not bad.
Yeah, so we're doing the best we can to conserve material here. I want either one actually.
This looks pretty good.
So now we're going to be taking off some big and some small chunks. There's kind of an order that we want to do this. What we're going to be looking for with this piece again is, are there splits on it? And there is a split on the end here. We're going to have about 4 inches left. So we're going to make this the end that we end at. That's the end we're going to start at. The way I had it set up when I was cutting this, I had an outfeed table. So I cut off the smallest thing I could and then moved to the largest. We don't have that here. Since I'm holding it, we're going to start with the largest. So in this case, go ahead and mark 35.5. And then after you make this cut, I won't have to hold it again. Look at this guy. He's remembering his steps. We should get you a job.
It's not that I'm unemployed. I have skills. If I am awful.
All right, you've got it against both fences, right?
Yep.
Good. All right. I'm gonna
Already
go
got
and
our
set this
first
on the
comment
table.
of the evening saying, how cool,
Nice.
from Mason Grilling.
It is cool. It's wood cutting. Look, we're making man glitter. All right, so you're going to take your master 16 inch. You're going to use that as your marker. Remember, we're going to use that piece for all the 16s, which there's one here and one on the next stick.
That's where we know which one's master.
Groovy. There you go. This one we're going to set aside. So when you're working in angles, the best way to do things is to do your angles all at the same time. So we're going to make all our flat cuts now. I'll mark that 21 inch on this, and I actually took a look at this. So this is kind of a nasty piece of 2x4 because when you shop at Home Depot, you expect one thing and you get another. You can see there's all these cutouts. The planer really dug in here, all this snipe. You've got tear out here around this knot. You've got tear out here at this knot, and at this one, you know, we're not making fine furniture. It's okay to have this, but you do have to think about what you're cutting, what you're going to be left with, and look at your material, make sure that's going to be okay. So I want to make sure the knot's going to be in a spot where it's coverable. It's not going to interact with the actual Pell and make it perform bad. So if you measure 36 off of this end, the knot should not be right in the middle of the cut unless I goofed up. There you go. So it's 30 and a half is what we're going for. I work in whole numbers when I'm marking stuff. Sorry.
So you want me at the 30 and a half or the 36?
30 and a half.
That's going to be right in the middle of
Oh, 35 and a half.
That's why you double check.
wait a second. Did we oops? No, we're good. We're great. It could happen. You know what they say?
That's why they measure twice, cut once.
Measure twice, cut once, swear twice. All right. Send it on out. Cool. All right, 16.
Use your masterpiece that you already did. The first one. There you go.
Good job, Brigitte.
I've built a few things in my day.
Just a few.
Just a few.
Where's the suspenders when you need them?
They're holding things up.
Oh yeah. Wow, this class has everything. Great.
You thought we'd get through class without any window? You don't know us.
We're working with wood. I mean, it's gonna happen. Cool. All right, set your 16s on the table and get ready for the fun part. In fact, I think I'm going to do the fun part for you so that you can watch and see how it's done the first time at least. Okay, so now we got to cut a 45-degree angle. We got to just, okay.
I'm only doing the straight angles, not funny angles.
So what we have to do is hold this at a 45-degree angle.
Okay.
Just hold it real tight. You have to blink.
Or we can use that.
Yeah. So this is a sliding compound miter saw. I could do a lot of things. I can get a 45-degree angle this way, or I could even tilt this. But this is how we're going to do it this time. Because, what is it? So what I found is when you're working on your angles, I learned this from doing baseboard and trim. Once you have your angle set, you do all your angled cuts on it, and they're always all the same that way. And if you screw one up, you screw all of them up. So I don't know, is it a good thing? Maybe, maybe not.
So you cut one angle, check to make sure it's right, and then cut the rest.
Yep, exactly. Because we're working with all 45s, we can kind of cheat this a little bit. Thanks. You shouldn't need to hold that. Okay, if this were fine furniture, that would not be my last cut. It's not fine furniture. You're going to leave this outside. You're going to hit it with everything. At this point, if I was trying to get a perfect 45, just for your edification here, I would sneak up on the cut. So I've got something like a 45, but there's blade deflection. So at this point, I'd rock it back in just a little bit. You see I'm pushing it forward. And then I'd take off half a blade width. And then it wouldn't have any way to deflect the blade because there's no meat on the other side. I'm not digging into it. I'm shearing it off. I'm shaving it at that point. That's how you get a really tight angle. But we're not going to need that because Pell. Okay?
Okay.
Now you know.
And knowing it's half the battle.
The other half is murder.
And unmitigated violence.
Yeah. He's getting it, guys. He's getting it. All right. So we need these at
What I did in the military.
20. Yeah, shoot. You know better than I do, actually. All right. We got our line at 20 and a half. We're not going to cut this plane, but, you know, for visual effect, we'll do that. This is going to be the outside edge. We're cutting outside to outside. When you set up your cut list, you want to measure outside to outside when you can, because the inside is harder to measure. What are you going to do? Like, this does not work because there's a slope. So you have to like burn an inch, measure it, subtract an inch, forget that you didn't subtract an inch, cut it the wrong size, recut it. It's a lot of steps to go through. So we got our line here. We're going to carry it over to the top by kind of just like eyeballing it. It's in line. Great. I can use the square pressed against the pencil. I'm putting the pencil down there as a placeholder. Now I can strike my line. But we're not cutting a straight line. We're cutting a 45. So you're going to come back, do the same thing with your pencil, use it as a positive stop, take your speed square, lay it against it. Now you got a 45. You put a little extra so you know you're not going to cut that. You're cutting this.
He's mathing over here.
I'm not mathing.
He's eyeballing.
This is not math. That's the best part of this. That's why I'm able to do
The
it.
math.
Yeah, some genius figured out all these degrees. All right. Same thing here. I'm just making sure I've got my cut lined up. Everything looks good. So this one, there's not enough meat for me to do a draw cut and score it and then come back. I got to do a plunge cut. And again, if this was fine furniture, that plunge cut's going to deflect. It's not going to sit flat. So what you would do is you would take it back here, make your cut probably there, like a 16th or an 8th pass, and then come back and sneak up on it. Last time I'm going to say that, we're going to breeze through this. Don't worry, we'll fix it in post. So, right on the line here, not on the line here. I'm actually gonna cut this a second time because this didn't carry over perfectly. But it's on the outside. We don't need to get the wood stretcher out. It'll be fine. This angle doesn't have to be perfect, but the length of this should be the same, I guess. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Here's your thing. Get out of here. Right.
I'll set it over here.
Dova. Dova. Get your nose out of there.
Whoa.
Oh, sorry. All right.
Sorry about the jiggle, guys.
We're going to rinse and repeat. Do you think you can do this on the next one if you watch me do it one more time?
Not 100% confident.
Okay.
I'll give it a gander.
Just so we're clear, we have this angle here. This is the shorter angle. We call this the inside.
Okay.
We call that the outside because if you have two 45-degree angles, you make a box. Now you know what the inside and the outside are, right?
Yep.
Okay, yeah? Good? Inside, outside. So you're going to measure the outside to outside. Measure that 20 and a half. And you're going to carry that line so you know if you got the right length. Flip it up on end. Make that line. And make this 45 right at the corner there. I'm going to be honest, the lighting's not great. Whoever set that up did the best they could, but this shop is a lot easier to work in. So there was blade deflection on that. All right, groovy?
Groovy.
Right, now you can see the drop we got from that 8-foot piece, pretty small. But this is pretty typical stuff you'll get in the hardware store. You've got like a 3 or so inch crack going right through the end because these are dried in a kiln, which is, you know, like oven drying. It dries really rapidly, and the ends let out the moisture the fastest, so they split. So
that makes it a weak point.
it does, yeah. They're prone to fracture, so it's good that we have some drop scheduled in the cut list. That kind of stuff it'll always get you. Crack on this one too, so we're going to start on the side that's not cracked, which is this side. Got a guess on what we're doing first?
Angle.
Yep. So flip that around, cut your 45-degree angle on it. You need clamp hands for this. It might be easier if you flip it over. You got a more square surface on this. There you go. Yeah, that's sitting a lot more square.
Yeah.
So go ahead and pull the blade down and pull it out. Don't hit the trigger. I would pull it out a little bit more. No, the other way. There. How's that looking when you pull that blade down? So
Yeah.
you could do that and then take one more pass to clean it up, or you can push it back in. I like the cleanup idea a little bit better.
Okay.
It'll be less chip out. And when you're holding it, you can get closer. What I like to do is wrap over so your fingers are on the bar of the fence. That gives you nice feedback. I don't think you cut all the way through it, did you? Yeah, it could be all right. All right, so you're gonna kind of sit it in between the saw blade, halfway. How do I say this? The saw blade should be half on the wood and half off.
You want to keep it flush against
So-
the fence, honey.
When you lift it up, you bring the blade down. I don't want any wood on that side of the blade.
Yeah.
So I want it about halfway there, and you can bring the blade down and kind of tap it to make sure you're getting some. I'd say that's about what you want. Get my hands out of there for you. There you go, bud. You're doing great. Ready. Huh? Yeah, it's a great shot. Yeah. All right. Show me what you got, Steve.
So we need a 20?
20 and a half. Have fun?
Watching Dover give me the side eye.
Where's she?
I don't know where she went.
Oh, laying in the dirt. That's her happy spot.
It's a great happy spot, especially if you're a dog. Did I do this backwards? You did this backwards.
Yeah, you're gonna want to be marking this side.
That was off.
That's all right. Do it again. So the problem with doing that sometimes, so what you're doing, I see what you're doing, you're trying to mark, you're trying to take the speed square to this marking here and then put the pencil against it. The thing is, this pencil isn't totally flush, so you're losing space, and that's why I take it and I stick the pencil there and I bring the square to it and get the square set. Now you can mark, and that line should be a lot more accurate. There you go. Nope, hold on. Take it like that, my friend.
Thank you.
No problem. And again, you can put your pencil down where you think the corner is and bring the speed square to it. You're gonna be fat there. I can see it from here.
Yeah.
That's okay. I can see that from outer space. That's all right. This is actually pretty tough to get, and the lighting here is, geez. It's great when you're camping, but now that I'm actually trying to work in it, it's lacking.
It's just another opportunity to excel.
All right, this one, because we're kind of guessing. Oh, you didn't draw a line here. We're gonna want this, my friend. We're gonna want this. So come out on the fat side of this,
Okay.
and that way we can always cut more off. We're gonna make a meal out of this thing, I'm telling you. Okay, sorry. Okay. Beauty. All right. Boom, boom. Do it again. Take that. No. You use a measuring tape for this one. I shouldn't stress about it, but if you ever try and make something, this is one where you actually remark. You want to mark on this face, and then you're going to tip it up and then carry it over.
I can bring. I promise. It was not as straight as I wanted it to be there.
She's surrounded by feathers.
You want to double check that, or?
Looks good. Yeah, you're doing a great job.
Oh, and they'll be close. Is that over?
This is the last angle cut, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, there's screwing and ripping on the table saw, which that could take a little bit, but we can do two things at once, maybe. I don't know. Nah.
I just wrapped a carpet around it, and it makes a circular. And then you'll have to go.
Great.
Yeah, but
All right.
fancy stuff is what it makes it look.
That does help. The carpet helps too, but if you have the tools, do it. And if you don't,
Yep.
don't. All right.
How many of each piece do you have when you're through cutting?
We've got 2 feet. You can actually see the Pell down here, if that helps. But you've got 2 feet. They're going to go crossways. Right there. There's a foot. And then you got the second part of the foot that crosses. There are 4 of these little smaller feet. Goes like that. And that way, you can separate them. That makes it portable. So 2 of those long horizontal feet, 4 of the short feet, then 4 of these vertical pieces, boop, yeah, and 4 of these that will make it fall over if I let go, like so.
Ta-da!
So now we get to go screw these in. The 16s go on the bottom, actually. Did you mark the 16s and the 15s?
Yeah.
Okay.
16 should say 16, 15 should say 15.
I'm gonna get fired as a cameraman. I'm doing terrible. I keep jiggling in it.
Yeah.
It's on a tripod.
I'm special that way.
It's a $15 right now. What do you expect?
Right, yeah. 16s are the feet. Good, good, good. All right. Time to start
There we go. Okay.
building.
Cool. Sorry about the.
Do you mind
busy
if
there, guys.
we get Holly in on this if she wants?
I'm all for it.
All right, Holly, you wanna do some building? Oh, okay. All right. You don't have to. That's
Practice
totally
makes
fine.
perfect.
All right. So,
GPU or CPU, so no, don't want to go.
all right, for the camera, we've got 3-inch corner brace. They can be stainless, galvanized, or painted. It really won't matter. I don't think those actually add much to the design personally, but I'm not going to mess with what the guy made. So, I'm going to say he probably knows more than I did. We've got 2-inch screws. These are exterior. Oh, there you are. 2-inch exterior screws. They've got a coating on them, so they'll last outside a little bit longer. We're going to pre-drill all of our screws. That way they don't split the wood. So it's a 2-step process, and this should go pretty quick.
Cool.
We are going to be working over here if you feel like moving the camera at all, Brig.
Beg pardon?
We're going to work over here.
You got it.
I don't know if you need a better angle or if
Here we go.
just
I can almost
watching
hear
our
my
beauties.
oldest son busting my chops over my camera work. How's that? Over here?
perfect.
Okay.
All right, we can get rid of these for now. Those will be in a couple steps. I think we're done with these. Those are our 16s, yeah? Yeah. All right. So I'm going to set these down so they don't get confused. The 16s are the feet, and we're going to start with the feet.
What an amazing feat of engineering.
Ba-doom-ching.
All right. I agonized over the steps for this. I'll have a handout available that has a breakdown of the steps because it's possible to bury screw holes that you need to get to. And ask me how I know.
Because you've done it?
Yeah, you guessed it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do after cutting out the pieces is give me a second. We're going to need the post. Lay the verticals on the post. Okay, yeah. Go ahead and bring the post over. And I'm going to get some clamps. We want to use the vertical space here, the long space. So maybe turn these or something. Lay the post down here with one end there. We're going to work at Brigitte's side. You know what? Are these just like hang here somewhere? Boom.
Hey!
Like it was meant to be. I'll be back in a shake with a couple clamps.
2 shakes of a pig's tail.
Give them the clamps!
Give me the clamps.
It be chilly. Just glad I'm not in Texas right now. It is snowing near Houston. Holy biscuits.
I was talking to customers this morning. There's like 12 inches of snow.
Yeah.
That's glorious.
Some friends taking them back down to Tennessee River.
Yeah.
The weather makes you so
Excuse me?
can't bother me, and I can just be with my family. It sounds glorious.
Got some saws for later. Stick a couple in here. Oh man, it's like that was meant to be until they fall. Yeah, right?
I may have to get
Okay.
something like that.
Not so sure it's gonna make a difference. I think I'm gonna flip it around though.
Sorry, I'm cold.
Okay. And
Those are the 15s.
these are the 16s. Ooh, hello. It's wider than it is tall. Oh well. We'll be fine.
That's the first time that's happened with dealing with water.
People would? Oh, Home Depot would. Now.
Hey-oh!
All right. These are down here. I actually, would you mind grabbing the 15s?
Fergus says, Frank says, bring them on camera. No, that's what it's telling me to do. Anyway, Fergus is watching.
Hi, Fergus.
No
Hi,
pressure.
Fergus.
Hi, Fergus.
I'm over here trying to butcher your design. I hope that's all right with you. These are the 15s.
It is.
My beautiful creation.
All right, so we're gonna put in our verticals right here. Tape measure, and I'll have you pre-drill these in a second. Let's clamp it in place so that they don't scoot around and get weird. Will you do me a favor and press down on the post? Thanks, buddy. Press down hard. Give it all you got.
Fergus is looking good already.
All right, thanks, buddy.
I appreciate that with my amateur skill.
All right, peanut gallery.
Okay, cool. That'll give us some weight for when we're pre-drilling it. We got 13 and an eighth almost. And wow, we were off. All right, let's try that again. 14 and a quarter. 14 and 5/8. Come on. About 14 and a half. That should be about halfway. Okay, so if you would grab that, go ahead and get 4 screws out, please, from the box. So it's important we do this step now. This is one of the places where you can kind of set yourself up for failure later.
Fergus does say that he is here for questions if any come across.
Thank you, buddy. All right, so if you take a look, we want to make sure we sink the screw so that it's below the surface. We're going to put more wood underneath this. So that's going to get covered up, and if this screw's sticking out, we're going to have a problem. But once it's covered, we won't be able to screw this in. So you kind of see where the issues are?
Yeah.
So we do that right out the gate so we don't forget. We have to take it apart. Oh, thanks. You see how I'm actually going to do all these at the same time. You see how I'm going halfway and backing it back out?
Yeah.
The purpose of this, I'm sure why don't you come around this way? I want to make sure the camera's picking this up. The reason I'm pulling it back out is the drill's going to get all filled up. Is it a kerf on a drill? the channels in the drill bit are going to get filled with wood, and it might push that wood in between this 2x4 and this 2x4, creating a gap. And then if I try and screw it in, those two faces won't mate perfectly. You'll have a bad joint and it can get screwy later on.
Okay,
See
Fergus
if it all
chimed
falls
in. He says, I cheat on this step. I use a cut of the post to build the base, less material to mess with.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Now that I've got it all clamped up, right there we go. Cool. All right. You want to put them in? Go ahead. So go ahead, put it where you think it's straight. You are off a little bit.
Fergus
There.
says my timing is amazing.
What do you say? His
He
time?
said his timing is amazing.
Thanks. Hang on, hang on. There you go. Cool. All right.
Only took me 3 screws to look like a professional.
That's pretty good.
You might want to clamp all the vertical screw into the foot. Okay.
I know it would have been first time for you.
I'm filtering. I'm filtering.
Let's go ahead and take Sir Fergus's advice.
Both clamps?
Yeah, go ahead and take this off. We're going to grab that other piece of post over there behind Mari on the ground by the trampoline.
Gotta keep everybody warm somehow.
All right, go ahead, toss that in. Oh, slide it down and clamp it back up.
Tight.
Give it a Fonzarelli. Come on.
Oh, honey. Here. Hold it. Hold it. Wait. Let's work smarter, not harder.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
All right, now, ready?
Hey.
There you go.
And that's why they're giggling and I'm struggling.
All right, wait. Just leave it standing up. Fine. Go ahead. No, you don't need a clamp.
Fergus says he recommends T25 bits and screws.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, they're construction grade. I'm kind of using what I have, but I'll agree with him. All right. We need short feet. That's going to be 2 more. 16s. 16s? 16s? Yeah, 16s. Okay, cool. Yeah, the T25 construction screws are going to have a better bite on your bit. They're harder to strip, and the screws generally have a more aggressive thread to them too, so they're going to hold better in this soft wood.
Right.
Go ahead.
I'm not sure who he's referring to, but Fergus says, I like her.
He's talking about you.
So hail to the now.
Set this whole arrangement right on top of here. Are you okay? Is your hand hurting?
It's my arm on the leather.
Okay. Do you want me to take over on the drills? Okay. Okay.
The reason I switched to fighting left-handed instead of right-handed.
I gotcha. All right, this part, it's okay if this isn't perfectly flush. If you want, we can go back and saw that off later. I want to try and close up the gap right here in between this, in this joint.
Okay.
Because that's going to keep this from wobbling as much. It's going to eventually
Unlike you
wobble.
two, Fergus.
This will work loose. The wood will get soft, especially around the edges, but for now, let's do the best we can and set up for success.
Not helping.
We'll check both sides.
Well, pay close attention,
Keep
ladies.
that
You don't
as
know.
level
You
as
might
we
be called on
can.
to build one.
And that's almost flush. We could put a clamp on that if we really cared, but I don't think we're building a rocket ship here. We're going to think ahead too. We're going to use these corner braces and get a good idea of where we can and can't drill, because we are attaching the short foot to the long foot, but a brace goes there too, if I can manage to get one out. I'm not going to give up here, I swear. Here we go. So we're going to drop this guy here at some point.
Okay, but not right now.
No. Yeah, we can. It doesn't really matter which you do first, I guess. Is that a kid? Hi, Ava. Are you going to bed? All right.
I'll take a pause for Daddy.
Pause for
One sec. Daddy duty. No, Dova's staying inside.
Parental break
She's
here.
getting a little too involved. I love you very much.
So these look like they break down really very easy, so that you can haul them in a. Gosh, I could put this in my Subaru and haul it to and from.
All right.
Should be able to fit in just about anything other than, the really tiny cars.
So,
Little K
since we
car.
have this set up, I want to go ahead and screw the feet in now so that it's not going to slide around.
Okay.
And then we can drop this in.
Wait, but wait, there's one more. One more. Teddy bear.
But wait, there's more.
Okay. I like your jammies.
Hi, kiddo. Mwah, love you. See you tomorrow. Thanks, honey.
Do
Okay.
who, what, where?
Sorry for that touching moment. Okay. So for
How dare you
these,
be a sweet dad.
these are all going to be the same, and we're just going to rapid fire this real quick. Don't shoot the screw through the brace, I think is the big takeaway. Any of this other area is good, but we are also going to stick that 45-degree right here. So we don't want to put screws in this last couple inches, and we don't want to put screws under the brace. So not too bad. Like that.
Looking at the notes from Fergus, he says, I would do it now. I'm presuming he means the braces. Easier to get the drill in place.
For sure. I'm gonna. So my thought process here is that I don't want these feet to scoot around, so I'm gonna secure them where I can. Once I get the screws through the feet, I'll put the braces on, because yeah, you will run into problems that 45 degree will cover some of this area. Yeah. Same on this one. And then like that. Have at it, my friend.
Fergus says, yep, perfect.
Nice. I'm writing a stamp of approval here. I love it. Yeah, drive this in a little further. Set it before you pull. Yeah, that's fine. This is where those torque bits, the T25s, would help if you're not used to this song and dance. All right. These little guys, you just kind of just shoot these in. These ones will pre-drill. Yeah.
I'm going to come around to where we can see what you're doing here.
Okay. So we're putting these braces in. No, we're going to do the tops. We can use long screws on the bottom. We can't use long screws on this because the post is in the way. So like a 2-inch screw would be problematic. You don't have to pull the trigger all the way. You can go like halfway and just let it work itself in. There you go. It'll go in. You apply a little pressure. There you go. You see? Perfect. You don't want to let this ratchet because it will strip out the hole. And then, if these ever fail, don't hit your Pell so hard. But I suppose you could always put in a little bit longer screw. There you go. It's going. So bring it up to that speed again. You're about halfway, and then apply pressure. Bingo.
Fergus says, don't worry, I'm super judgy. LOL.
I feel it.
I'm waiting for the review after the video, too. Those are the scorching comments. All right, take a break with that wrist.
That'll do it.
So this time of year is not kind on the alarm.
Holly, you want to give it a go?
Mittens.
She's just cozy over there.
My hands are frozen in the mittens. That's the opposite of
You need better
Jeans. Okay, so these are going here anyway. So we're actually going to do that next.
Get better mittens.
I have electronic handlers. But
Since we're here, I'm going to go ahead and throw on the diagonal. No time like the present. So going through diagonals can be a little weird.
I'll let you handle those.
Thanks. I mean, it's not going to, you're not going to ruin anything. No one's going to die. But you're not going to drill straight down. You might not want to drill at an angle either. So I'm going to show you a technique for getting that straight drill or the straight angle when you're drilling into something diagonal. Try not to block the camera. I'm new to this.
You're good.
Okay.
Don't worry about the camera.
So I'm going to come in perpendicular to the face of the material. I'm going to go in about 1/8 of an inch or just over. And then I'm going to pull it out to where it's just barely in the hole. And while the drill's running, I'm going to start moving it up like this. And now I can plunge down at a more suitable angle. And since that's shifted, I'm just going to drive a screw in it so it doesn't change.
Okay.
Because right now the angle's like this, and you're getting a decent bite into this material underneath. If you go right into the face, you're not going to have enough bite, and this diagonal is not going to be supporting it. If you go straight down, you're not going to have a lot of meat in your diagonal, and you're running into the same problem. So you kind of split the difference there without losing your bite on the material itself. So like that, come back up.
Fergus says, it's so cool to see someone teaching. This makes me so happy. By the way, it is 19 degrees here. Glue is also your friend.
You glue these?
I have seen when woodworkers, they will glue and screw
Yeah.
on for extra support on this. It's not unheard of.
I didn't think of that. I just figured screws. Is that why our house is falling apart?
Well, that's a it's a belt
At some
and
point, perhaps you might need nails.
it's a belt and suspenders approach.
Ah, I see.
As opposed to the dynamite and exorbitant military budget approach.
Yeah, no, that doesn't work.
I want about there. There we go.
Okay, and you're doing essentially the same thing with this angle.
Yes. Yeah, this is same process, method, and I'm going to rinse and repeat this on the other side, and then I'll complete the other set of legs. But I'm going to pull it apart so you can see where we're at before I do that. But this is the part where things start happening fast.
Okay.
All right. Let me bust out the other side, and I'll show you that we're halfway done.
All right. I do have a note here. It says, yep, glue is actually a stronger joint.
That's true. I'm going to say I totally agree. I've seen wood fail with the glue still attached several times.
True
So
that.
I feel like I've seen you use glue with screws before too.
I have totally. I don't know why I didn't think to do it on a Pell. I don't know. Maybe I'm just kind of dumb.
No, no.
In a hurry.
No.
See, all these people are willing to cover for me.
I am so sorry, but stinking thinking is not allowed.
Oh, stinking thinking. All right.
There you go. I have my friend Dangerous to thank for that phrase.
All right. Thank you. So we are still loose. So I'm pulling this tight against the 2x4, and I'm gonna push this short foot that's underneath all the way against it. That's locking that frame in place. And then I'm going to bolt this all together. That's the wrong word for it, but I think you know what I mean.
Yep.
So I don't know if you noticed, but I didn't bury my screw holes. For the people at home watching this who aren't used to doing this kind of stuff, you see I'm not using a tape measure because I know what I'm looking for. But here's where you can get behind again. If I drilled these holes down here at the end,
Sorry.
you wouldn't be able to see them
Maneuvering the tripod.
once you put this 45-degree brace on it. So I know without measuring it, it's only whatever 2.5 inches here that I'm covering up. So I just make sure I go inside of that. And you can,
So you've got plenty of room.
yeah, exactly. It's something to be mindful of. I know I'm not breaking out that measuring tape. I don't want to let you guys down. There's a reason I do things the way I do them.
So smooth.
This is a practiced move here, buddy. You can see I choose the best friends. The best friends a man can have. You know that's messing with. Is that a whole different video?
No, it's the same video. It's on delay.
Oh crap. Okay. All right. We are halfway done with the legs. Whoa! Oh, wait a second. I didn't put the 45 in. We're 39% done, whatever the math is. If anyone wants to do it.
I've got a note that says also countersink drill bit. Super cool.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and say if you want to take the time to countersink these things, you go right ahead. But this is fresh Douglas fir from Home Depot, so it's wet stuff. I can drive a screw all the way through it until the threads come out the other side. There's just, for this kind of work, the countersink is almost just unnecessary. If you were making fine furniture, if you were making like a camp bench that people were gonna, take a long look at, you want to impress some people, yeah, a countersink does wonders. I mean, it's the suitable tool for using a countersunk screw. I think they're great. I have a collection. Let's just put it that way. But for this unfortunately is not earning my respect. It's cheap material.
Fergus says, see the previous comment about the nail gun trick.
Yeah. He uses a nail gun to temporarily hold items in place while he's working.
Yeah, see, that's a great option if you have it.
If you have a nail gun, yes.
Yeah. In fact, even if you don't, if you get yourself a little box of nails, just bam, tack a nail in real quick, and it gives it that shear so it can't slide around. You don't have to hold that.
It's a habit.
I know. You're so nice. Is that angle I want? This poor drill bit has almost had it. This is my 5/32, and it's my everything bit.
It's been working hard.
Yeah, well, it's the size that fits the copper rivets, so it goes through leather and plastic and metal on a regular basis. All right.
I got
Would you mind someone with a good shoulder?
too much.
All right, so the post is out. You want up.
Hold it
There you
steady.
go.
There we go.
I want to show you that we are halfway done. So those following along at home, you see I'm using one part of the frame to build the other because I don't want to have to break out clamps and squares and stuff like that. And they're really unnecessary. You don't need a lot of tools to do this project.
I can understand why you're doing it the way you're doing it, because you're taking it to someplace to such a level for people who don't have a plethora of tools available to them. They're using what they've got.
Exactly.
Kind of a deal. So I get it.
And you don't really even need it. Like, gotta be honest, I have all those tools and I don't want to go get them.
Fergus, you're fine, honey. It's good.
Oh. Is he getting remorseful here?
No, bless him. He says, please tell me if I'm being too helpful. Super awesome.
You're awesome, Fergus. We like having you here. So at this point, I'm going to put in a couple screws just to hold this in place so it can't swirl around. I'm doing things a little bit out of order, but once everything's square, lined up, and snug, like why not, right? You're not going to get a better chance to do this. It'll hold everything together. Saving you time and effort.
Work smarter, not harder.
There you go. See, what I was hoping was I'd get
Yes, Army.
all these people
Okay.
here to do the work for me. That was the ultimate goal.
Because she's married to a Marine.
Makes sense.
Granny.
I didn't say it. Runt did not say it. That's all I'm saying.
But he likes
be
his
nice
special
over there.
dance.
You can beat me up later.
You be nice. I can beat you up in his stead. I've got permission.
That's why I'm keeping my mouth shut. Keep tight.
All right.
2 out of 3 squires are here.
You go low, I go high. All right. Where did the post go?
It's right here.
If you don't mind.
Your arm has
Okay.
owie.
It has plates.
Okay. It has owie.
One side might fit better than the other because this thing is bigger on one dimension. All right. And this is just rinse and repeat. I'll put the 15-inch vertical pieces in. One goes here, one goes here. I'll bolt that together, put the braces on, and then put that 45-degree piece, and then our legs can be sanded and they're done. And then the post will be exciting for everyone.
I'm chuckling at his comment.
Oh.
That is called Huck Finning someone. LOL.
Crap. So, remember how I said the first thing you do is you stick the vertical onto the foot so that you don't bury the screw hole.
Oh.
Well, in my directions, I'm very careful to point that out. I'm not reading my directions right now, and I just buried the screw hole. So you're all going to witness what not to do. Or you just did witness, rather. So.
Oh, I get it. Okay, I'm coming around so we
Right.
can
Okay.
see how to fix it.
And what did I have before for my fix it option? Clamp it, right? Yeah, I think clamp it was the answer. And this is my foot. No, I got to take the whole thing apart. That's okay though. For those following along who might make this mistake too, if you notice the way I played the throttle on that, the trigger on that drill, if you sink a screw like this without a countersink, and even sometimes with a countersink,
Sorry, hang on.
if you back it straight out, it can lift up the material and cause tear out. If you just feather it little by little, sometimes that'll help you from making that tear out, and that can save you material, save you the hassle of finishing and sanding a mistake. I think, how am I going to fix my, oops. Let's do that down here, kind of an awkward motion. I know that's a foot because it's got a screw in it. Groovy. So what I need to achieve is that. That's fun. No, I don't want you to do that.
Oh,
So I'm going to turn this over here. I'm going to set this down so it's flush. It's flush. I'm going to clamp that. Thanks, buddy. Right. Yeah, you got it? I'm going to get 2 clamps on this just in case it helps. The thought process here.
A little too loose to be
That tight. If you clamp it in place, now you can set the foot against it and it can't go anywhere, and you can shoot your drill through it like that. And that'll give you
from underneath?
some positive pressure. Yeah. What I'm doing here is the same as the first step I did with the first half of the leg. I'm just pre-drilling holes and putting 2 screws in, which you could use nails for this part if you, for some reason, wanted to. This is really just providing shear strength, which is what nails are made for. Screws are not. They'll work, but not as well. Basically keeps it from being able to rock this way and this way. All right, that's fine. We can go ahead and take the clamps off, and we'll just do that again with the other one. Rinse and repeat. Stay. You don't have to pull it off. You just give it a firm voice. You say stay, and it'll stay there.
You didn't pat it. Everyone knows it's a secret.
You gotta give
Going nowhere.
it a whack. It ain't going now. How'd you know? How does she know the secret?
Grew up with a mechanic for a dad.
Oh, did you have to hold the flashlight?
Yes.
All right. You know the secret then. You've paid your price. Cool. And I'm gonna have to re-drill that. Sorry, trying to think 2 steps ahead. I'm not sure if that's gonna get me where I need to be. Take it off. There you go. There you go. This does not feel super cool on the shoulder, by the way. This angle is not what I recommend.
How's your shoulder holding up?
It's doing okay. I've actually had it in a sling the last couple days, just resting it.
Okay.
I did something dumb.
Gotta stop doing those dumb things. That's what I'm for.
Yeah.
I will say this is a good opportunity to see how to resolve that particular snafu.
When it's all said and done, you're going to want to hit it with the stick.
Lots of times.
Okay, so again, we're going to set up the long foot. That's where we really want to be. Go for it. Yeah. Good? You're good, bro. You're good. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and blast that one in. Kind of squirreling over here. My wife is so funny, her sense of humor. So I told her I wanted to get a hammer drill. Various reasons, whatever. I'm like, I want to get a hammer drill. And she says, you already have one. I'm like, no, I don't. It's just a regular drill. It doesn't have the hammer. And she says, yeah, it does. I'm like, where's the hammer, Nicole? She says, it's on the bottom. Yeah, right?
Can tell how her family solves things.
All right, we're going to set a brace in, just so we know we're not going to bury it. Clean it up. You know why I put those there? I don't have to repeat myself, right? This is a great time to use that 2x speed feature.
Post-production.
Yeah, right?
Get to the music of somebody singing What Do You Do with a Drunken Sinagua?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got to get some of these bards some studio time. That's what we really need to do. Like all this music they're making, is it going to get lost into obscurity? What are the odds that Firefly is going to ever like share her music or record it, right?
You never really know. You never really know. It might be an interesting opportunity to go throughout the principality, writing down the performance pieces and stuff, recording it for history.
Oh my God. The musical bards need a lower bard. Bardception.
Just saying.
I think that actually would be a noble cause for someone who wanted to save some posterity.
Well, way back in the day when we played Non-Stiora, there was a Non-Stioran songbook, and it had all the stuff, up until 2004. No, 2004, excuse me.
Okay.
Palantir
That's
also
more
has
sense.
a songbook, and I'm sure other kingdoms do as well.
We need a bard chronicler.
And it looks like Auntie made a songbook years ago. Not sure where it's residing or if it's public access or not.
Well, if it's not, we need access.
Yeah. Don't let the history be lost.
That's what this whole thing is about.
Whoa, we're
That went funky.
yeah. Let's see if that actually. Oh, we're good.
Thank you, Fergus. It would be great if we can get a copy of that songbook, and especially electronic version, so we can upload it to the files and it'd be available to people who want the kids to keep history going.
I don't know if this is actually helpful at all, but I will follow your lead.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. No, you don't have to grab that one. See, I didn't pull it out, and it did exactly what I said. It shoved some material through.
You got in a hurry, didn't you?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. This one's a little iffy too. The first one was like that. What?
I'm filtering.
Groovy. All right, we're getting there, folks. We're really close to calling the legs done.
Come around to the side. And it's just lather, rinse, repeat.
Yep. Yep. Any methodology that I'm using here, I've already done on all the rest of it. So I'm gonna shoot through this rather quickly if I can.
Need me to hold anything?
I'm curious why. Tell me why.
Do you need a persuader?
No. I got a bit of a lip there that I was not expecting. And because of that,
It looks flush everywhere else.
I'm
about
worried
the carpenter?
about.
No.
We're pretty close, actually. Oh, it's because the post is not square. All right, remember when we first started talking about that? One side is longer. So because of that, we've got a lip down here on the upper part of the foot because it's sticking out 1/8 of an inch up here.
Thought, what if we remove that post, seek the one that's actually going to be being used in it, and see if any adjustments need to be made?
No, it's cut off from the same piece. But you know, it's not going to be a problem. It's still going to hold it. It's still going to be braced up. It's just going to have a little lip. And this is something, if we wanted to, we could cut down, but we could also very easily ignore because,
Yeah.
I mean, that's at your foot.
I'm not worried about
It's
like-
not going to cause the world to end. I will say this, Fergus did say, hell, I'm going to have you make me one of those.
If I
When
do
your
that,
shoulder heals, though. When your shoulder heals.
thank you. I might even do a better job. We'll see.
I will be your assistant on that if you want.
Thanks, buddy.
I'm to watch the little one while we work on it.
Let's go here.
Fergus says, remember, it's a Pell.
I know.
That's what a backpack's for.
I know. This guy needs a baby Bjorn over here. He's got a kid that doesn't want to get set down. All right.
You're making me cold watching you, so just put it on.
Hey, Fergus, what do you think freight is for something like this? It breaks down, mind you.
You know what? The freight would cost more than the materials.
Guaranteed.
I'm trying to be brave.
That is one of my favorite coats. I've had it for years. The coats get warm.
Smells like Army.
Probably.
Yeah.
Brackets there. We get a couple of these little
Lack of
painted screws.
I can't screw.
If you're thinking about buying yourself a drill or a tool set, something I love about Makitas, and they're not the only ones, but their light stays on for a little bit, so they become a flashlight real fast in your toolbox.
Fergus says you're kicking butt.
Just wait till I hit this thing, man.
I'm not myself on my homework. I'm not confident in it yet. But I just might with this one
So here's what I've got to say about that. Film yourself at home. Nobody's going to see it. And that gives you a chance to see what you're doing. No one else has to see it. Just you.
again. Oh, I know.
It's like being alone in the shower. No one else is going to see.
I normally do my power work at like 2, 3 in the morning once I'm finally able to put my feet down and can get some de-stressing.
Cool, last diagonal.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, are you not stopping to think about starting to film yourself?
Yeah, I think at the bottom. What do you think? So, this is your Pell, Rowan. You got a little bit of a knot there in this piece. We left it on the outside. You want that at the top or the bottom? It's going to be either like this
Well, I don't care about
or
pretty,
like
but
this.
which one would it be less likely to be a structural issue?
Neither.
Let's go top.
Top? Okay. We'll call that the burl is just adding character. So this is one of those places where, like Fergus said, and like I've said a couple times, this is a Pell. You're going to hit it with the stick. These are not going to be perfect 45-degree angles. If you're making one of these at home, this is not a place where you need to start sweating. Oh, is this right? Is this perfect? Just get it close enough. You're making a way for wood to stand up, and then you're going to whack it. It's going to be okay.
It's not going to go into an A&S exhibit or a competition. It's for you to sharpen your skill.
Yes, this is nothing but a tool.
So bad that
So something we talked about a little bit ago, Fergus was saying tapping a nail in this real quick is a good move. You'll notice I'm not doing that. I've got a history of woodworking. I've done it professionally. You can develop a lot of strength in your hands from working. You know, you go to a job 5-6 days a week, you're doing 40-50 hours a week of labor, your hands are going to get strong. My hands are strong. I can clamp these things with my hands. If that's not you, that's okay. Using a little nail just to tap it in place is a great option. You may want to think about doing that if you're making a Pell at home based on this for like a first-time project even. That might be you. And that's totally okay.
So out of curiosity, you guys that are watching, we've got wireless mics that are doing on this. Can you guys hear Sigfrøthr okay with a wireless mic?
Yeah, while I'm running power tools.
I can hear it just fine on the stream.
Great. No, I'm just trying to remember not to shout because the microphone's like right there.
All right.
I don't know what the battery life on this is.
Rowan, you're strong. Get this thing off my table. Let's just set it down next to the other one. All right, let's see. Brackets are screwed in. 45s are screwed in. The post comes on out.
Thanks, Fergus. I appreciate that.
So there you go. Your base is made.
Huzzah!
We're going to take the time to sand this a little bit, but we're not going to waste your time watching us sand. Essentially, if you want to do that at home and you need advice, real briefly, I go around the whole surface once or twice, just get the pencil marks off and get any burrs off. More importantly, though, you want to hit these edges right here, at this 45 here, at these edges on the top, where the post meets it. These are the things you're going to touch. And where the wood is going to come together, that's where damage can happen. So,
will you want to use any kind of Thompson's water seal or anything on these cut edges?
Nah, I wouldn't seal this. Fergus, if you got an opinion on sealant, hey, chime in. I've already written down in my procedure. You'll see it later. I think if you're going to put a sealer on this, you're going to just add a bunch of weight you don't need. A 2x4, if you keep it out of the rain, it'll last in your yard for years. I pulled the measurements off of Pell in Thorfinn's backyard, and it's out there in the weather, and it's doing fine. It's been years and years, and it gets used. I know it gets used because I use it. So I don't think you need to do anything. Don't bother paint it. Don't oil it. If Fergus says otherwise, hey, you know, it's his design. He probably knows a lot better than I do.
He says, I never do. It's a Pell.
See, there you go. So don't worry about that part. You know what you might do is put a little paint on the outside of the top leg so you know which one to yank up first.
There you go. That way you can mark it.
All right, those tools are done. The last thing we got to do, two things. We got to rip down the corners of the post, and we're gonna have to finish those with a handsaw, which I'm gonna make somebody else do. But I'll rip them down because this is the part that gets sketchy. Table saws are dangerous and fun and awesome and dangerous. If you haven't used a table saw before, do it with someone who knows what they're doing.
Oh, I highly recommend that.
You can go ahead and lay that right on here. There's an outfeed table that'll catch it. You can just balance it on those two. Just make sure.
Dante's garage door, how I feel about table saws.
Did you get a piece kicked off?
Garage door.
Ow, buddy.
By four.
So what's a good spot to set this thing where we can get some good angle? That's not in your way.
That's a great question. The light's coming from here. The cut's happening on this side.
Then I'm going to be right there.
And the dust is going to be rooster tailing out this way. So do you want to be in the dust, or you can look straight down? I don't know. You want to? I can get you my apron, and you can just.
That's all right, honey. I'm not afraid of man glitter, but
Right.
I don't want it on my phone.
Okay.
It's got enough glitter on it.
You could do the math. I did trial and error with the piece of drop from the last Pell I made. This is a 3.5-inch wide piece of material sold as a 4x4. To knock off the corners and have them be the same size as the face that you're leaving, you want to set your blade at 45 degrees and cut it at 2.5 inches. What does that all mean? 2.5 inches. That's a big takeaway. So we're setting our fence at 2.5 inches. Pop this up so you can see where I'm going with this. For those at home who use table saws but haven't done a lot of work with 45 degrees, I've already got it set at the angle. It's no big deal. You don't need to go very high because you're only cutting off a couple inches. Grab that drop. And I can illustrate that with this little piece. So when it comes through, you just need this part of the blade to just stick up out of the wood just a little bit. It doesn't need to go any further than, a 1/4 inch past the material. You don't need the blade way out here where you're going to lop your fingertips off. This is actually safer. You're going to see also, as I push it through, I'm going to be holding the material like this and kind of gripping it and pushing it against the fence. This is the fence right here. Just pushing it against the fence and trying to keep my hands braced like this so that they can't slip down into the blade. Because if I'm holding it like this, whoops, fingerless. If I'm like this, I slip, they just go down and stop. All right, this part gets a little bit loud and a little bit dusty. So now you know.
Fingers are optional. That's why you have 10.
Yeah, right?
This is Fergus.
Oh, I forgot a step.
So fit to give you a spad.
I forgot a step.
Whoa. What did we forget? Oh.
We got to mark it. We don't know when to stop. We just don't know when to quit. All right, it's all the way down. We're going to mark it on, thank you, on the top of these pieces here. We are not going to cut all the way down to that mark though. As you'll see in my instructions, if you look at them, you want to stop a little bit early because the blade's the farthest out here. You can't cut all the way through the post down here, but you can cut into the post. You can cut some of it. So we have to stop, what, 3-4 inches ahead? So I'm going to give it that 3-4 inches. And I'm going to say that's probably our stopping point right there, even though we're marking here. I've got a mark on my fence, so I know where to stop. But for you at home, I would pull out the measuring tape and give it 3 to 4 inches, just so you have that safety room. You're not cutting the corner out of your post for no reason.
Fun fact. The average width of a person's hand is roughly 4 inches.
Bada bing.
That's
like
why
it.
horses are measured by hand.
All right. Fence is in good. All right, here's the noisy part. you do me a favor and scoot the whole Pell out a little bit? Thanks, buddy. Calculated my outfeed table. Whoops. You see that? Thank you. Good deal. All right, I don't know if you saw that, but the outfeed table is scooted off to the side. If you don't have a buddy, you got to have one of those little tables. If you have a buddy, it gets real sketchy holding material anyway, so I don't actually recommend that. All right, cool. So here's what I'm talking about. So I stopped my cut right here.
I'm going to zoom in here on you, babe.
Excellent.
Okay.
I'm going to increase my blade height. I stopped my cut at the highest point here, but at the lowest point it cut to here. This is why I'm saying give yourself 3 or 4 inches, because you don't want to have that lowest point cutting down here. Right? This part, for the table saw method, we got to hack this off. So I'm going to take a handsaw and just cut like this and take off this wonky piece. I don't think the table saw is the best way to do this. It's what I have. It's easy to set up. If you have a router table or even a really stout router with a chamfer bit that can handle this, that's the best option. If you got a plane or a draw knife, you could go at it with that and I guess hope for the best. But this is what I got. This is what I'm using, and it'll work.
It's a good way to work on your abs, biceps, and triceps.
Yeah, there you go. Mm-hmm. I guess a plane would do that too. I don't know, woodwork is generally just kind of tough. Okay, so in the low light that we have, this is just gonna get a little sketchy. I can't show you everything I'm doing because I need to see the angles. There you go. Quick and easy. Power tools are fast, sometimes hand tools are faster. And then it's rinse and repeat the last 3 corners. The last step after that with the tools, with the cutting tools, will be to finish this cut all the way down, and then we'll sand it and be done. But we're gonna sand it off camera, I think.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna make 3 more rips. So hang with us. Come on out, you're gonna get dusted back there, buddy. Okay, you saw that cool move with the knee there? You don't want to pull the stock off while the blade's running. If you notice, The teeth on the blade are pointed this way. If you pull the wood in line with those teeth, it's going to start throwing it at you instead of cutting down through it. You lift it up a little bit, and it's just going to pitch it back at you and shoot this whole post into your gut, and it hurts.
Bad things, bad things.
Yeah. Do you want to cut this one, Steve?
Yeah.
Teach you how to cut it. We'll start over here so you have some light. You know you're cutting at a 45 degree, but what you're going to try and do is bring the cut from this point to this point.
Okay.
Once you have that, then you're going to flip it over and bring the cut from here to here. And then if you need to do any more, you can drop
at
it in
an
that
angle.
track, and that'll hold it in place, and then you can level out the cut. It won't take much, and you can also just snap it off. You start at the tip of the saw, so you want to be out here. You go ahead and take your finger, put it lightly against. I like to use the actual tip of the finger because it'll ride like this. It'll ride on your fingernail. You're not trying to push it hard. You're trying to just keep it straight, and just real gentle feather strokes until you've developed a channel.
I can put many layers on this.
There you go. There you go. You're good. You want to fall back into the channel. It doesn't have to be perfect here. There you go. That's good. Pop that guy off. See, you are getting a little deep there, so just be careful with that, okay?
Okay.
Cool. Something else I'll say, you'll notice the way I line it up. If you're new to table saws, if you're going to be using a long piece of material, there is a method for lining this up that I use. You don't want to be all the way against the blade, but you want to be close as you can get, so you can feel the material, and you're going to rock it up and down, and you can feel when it's tipping up. You feel it level out, it kind of thuds on it. You pick it back up and wait till it thuds again. Now you're flat. You do the same thing against the fence. You can kind of look at that. Once you're good, then you start moving forward. So you see me do that here right now.
Fergus says, you've got this. I've got a few little techniques that differ, but you've got this.
Awesome, buddy. I can't wait to hear it. We should have a talk after this. I don't know what time it is out in your neck of the woods, but...
It's late.
Do you want to go for it? Using tools.
Tis a very manly ANS tonight.
Yes. I'm sorry, a manly what?
ANS.
Oh, okay. You said that a little fast, and I thought I heard something else. A and S night.
Oh, blast.
All right, hold on. You can probably just pop it off.
Fergus says, call me.
Uh-oh. Got you, buddy. All right, cool. One more to go.
Okay, I'm going to zoom in.
All right. I already cut that side, didn't I?
Yeah.
And that one. Cool.
Trying to figure out how much of a protection it's going to be on that angle.
I love the smell of fresh cut lemon.
All right. Oh, you want to mark it? I'll mark it for you, buddy.
Please do. Makes life a little easier.
So we're just about wrapped up here. There's more hand sawing and some sanding. I don't know that we need to record all that. You guys have an opinion on that?
See, it is.
Good.
It's 8:55 right now.
And pull it from. There you go.
I think that's just finished work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That as they want.
So there you go. Take a peek. Fairly hexagonal.
Hextagonal.
Hextagonal. Wait.
Tulsin cavers.
Yeah. So the cleanup work that's included is finishing these cuts, as you can probably see, bringing that all the way down,
I'm gonna
and
zoom
then
in.
cross-cutting to make the shoulder. Or you could just leave it if that's what you're into. And then sanding it. We have like kerf marks here and sharp edges. We're gonna give it a light sand, and it will be done real fast in a hurry. But I'm not gonna make you sit through that. Go ahead. Rowan, you got a Pell?
Okay. So there we go. And
We'll sand
Voila.
that face down a little bit.
In theory, it'll fit.
there he goes. Just a little persuasion. Well done.
Nice. And
Ready to get smacking.
I mean, at that point, you know,
If you hurt your arm again, there's a bunch of people that won't hurt you more.
Oh, don't worry. I'll dive underneath him so that
Yeah.
he gets hurt less.
Okay.
so there you go.
All right.
That is how you make a Pell from stuff at Home Depot that will last several years and can be broken down and thrown in the back of a coupe and taken to fighter practice. And you can do it with some basic stuff.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you
You're
for letting us
welcome.
come into your home
Absolutely,
and doing all this
anytime.
stuff. I really appreciate it. So, guys, you know, arts and science is more than just fabric and fiber and all like this. It's power tools. Sewing machine is a power tool. This is another type of power tool. Don't be scared of them. So I am looking for more teachers. I'm hardly encouraging anyone who would like to take an opportunity to teach a class. It could be the simplest of things, how to set up a kitchen, or you know, best way to find cast iron. You know, anything that would be helpful. It's always a good idea too to put together something for newcomers. You know, someone who's just getting started. A quick little 101 on where to look to find the cheap stuff that looks good. Anyhow, it's just about time for us to wrap up. Thank you so much for joining us here for our January Arts and Science meeting. We're going to be meeting the third Tuesday in February, I believe. And when I have information on a class, I'll definitely be posting on that. Again, this is going to be going up on the YouTube for the West Kingdom YouTube page. Check it out. Share it with your friends. Really cool stuff. Really cool guy.
Thank you. And also, hey, big thanks to Fergus McArt for allowing us to share his design. He did a lot of great things for our area, and we all still love him very, very much, and he continues to share for us. So thanks again, Fergus. We love you.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.